Welcome back, everyone. Such a privilege being here today, being able to share my gameplay experience with you guys. We are back in Manor Lords. I haven't played in quite a few months actually, so I believe a few things have changed, and today you will be experiencing that with me. Let's jump into a new game. I'm gonna pick my normal coat of arms pattern here. Let's do the black there and the red. I want to run through this quite quickly so that we can get into the gameplay without wasting any of your valuable time. I'm going to play in the Fractured Realm again. That's something that I like. I am going to change it to only one AI opponent for the time being. Like I said, this is a bit more of a exploration video looking into the changes that we might have seen over the past couple of months. And as I haven't played, I'm experiencing this now for the first time, and I don't want to make it too difficult. Also, while we're here, just a quick disclaimer. In my previous video, I've been receiving some comments that it's clickbait because I made a video on the ultimate starting economy, and I believe that a few guys were disappointed in my skill level, saying that it's not the ultimate starting economy and that I did a few things wrong. So I just want to make this very clear. I'm not claiming to be a professional gamer, and also I'm not having you pay for my Manor Lords course. This is just a fun playthrough. I do try my best, to set things up right, but if you differ from me, you are more than welcome to leave me a comment, and we can see where we can improve. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay guys, so welcome to Lake Lem. I don't think this is one of the new maps, but I haven't really played it before, so I thought it's good. I like the water, being close to water. It allows us to be able to gather some resources rather quickly if we're lucky and we have a fish resource. So we'll take a look at that now, and then you can see our settlers down there. They are ready to start doing what settlers do best. So let's get them straight to work and we can start building our little town. Okay, so you can see we've got a new message. Let's go and have a look. Build up your town, your manor, and when ready, press claims towards regions owned by your opponents. Once a claim has been pressed, be ready for battle. So I need to remember that, actively keep that in mind. Last time I actually made a bunch of mistakes which I'm hoping to improve in this scenario or this round. So let's zoom out on the map and just have a look. So our opponents will be right at the top over there. So I put some distance between us. I do see that we have a fish resource, even though it's not a rich resource. We've got rich salt deposit and rich mushroom deposit. So let's go ahead and start building. I always like to go for the logging camp first. Let's try and see where we can put this. I don't want to put it too far from my main village, so I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, let's do it right on the corner there. Then we'll have access to these trees, those and those. So it's quite centralized. That's what I like. We're also going to be building a road. Let's connect that hitching post down to the main road over there, and then I think we will loop it around the forest line. Okay, so I think that's a good enough start. Also want to go ahead and build our granary and our storehouse pretty quickly so that we can get all of those supplies to safety, as we usually have to do before they get spoiled by the weather. And then something that I did read in the comments previously, build another hitching post immediately. So I'm going to do that right now. And then also see we do have about 50 coin available, so I'm going to use that to immediately purchase a second ox. That'll just help us with the transport, getting things moved around a bit quicker. Also want to let's take a look at what we have left. We only have 2 timber left. So as soon as the timber starts coming in from our logging camp, we'll start building housing. So we need to get that done as soon as possible so that we can build up the numbers of our village. and that way we can increase ultimately our military presence. Let's also go ahead and see what we need to build I think it'll be a forager's hut, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I haven't played this in quite a while. Forager hut. We'll go ahead and build that right next to our mushroom supply over here, so that we can start gathering food immediately. Now that doesn't look quite natural, does it? I think we'll start a bit further back. That looks a bit better, according to me. Okay, so I'm going to speed up time, and we'll see what happens next. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoy this with me. Alright, so construction on our logging camp has been completed. I'm going to add 2 families to the logging camp, even though we do not have a lot of families available. But I want to get in timber as quickly as possible, because that'll allow us to build faster. So we'll let them get to work, gathering some trees for us, some timber. And then let's have a look at the rest of the village. So our granary is coming along there. Our hitching post is coming along, and then they'll start building our storehouse as well. Okay, so I'm going to be adding someone to the granary immediately, so that we can get our food over here stored. We've got some bread. Very important for us to do that as quickly as possible. And I wanted to put another family in here in the storehouse, but I think what I'll do is I'll let the guys from the granary collect everything, and then I'll just move them over to the storehouse. And that way we have 2 unassigned families available that can continue with building our forager hut here, so that we can get food in as quickly as possible. And then of course our logging family, or families rather, are already busy gathering some timber for us, so that's a good thing. Have a look, we've got 1 timber left. So I think the next thing that we'll do is we'll start focusing on building burgage plots and giving our settlers somewhere to live. Alright, so our forager hut has also been constructed, so I'm adding a family there so that they can start gathering some mushrooms for us. And also we shouldn't forget about the fish, seeing that we have some available. It's early spring at the moment, as you can see it's March, so we also need to build a fisherman's hut as quickly as possible, so that we can make use of all the food resources that we have before winter approaches. Let's just go ahead and see. Yeah, I think I'll place it as close to the water as possible, somewhere inside the forest there, and then we will connect it to our town via this road. Okay, let's also look at our supplies. Okay, so it seems like all the food has been collected. We'll move this family from the granary over to the storehouse, so that they can get all those goodies safely inside the storehouse there. And then what I also want to do is just move one of these hitching posts right across the road from the logging camp. Alright, so it seems like all of the supplies that we brought with us was collected. I'll be removing all those unnecessary families, so that we've got 2 unassigned families available for construction, so that they can quickly finish the fisherman's hut. Okay, we've got 6 timber, and I will be starting on the construction of our first burgage plots as well. Let's go ahead and do that. I think I'm gonna put another road in here, just to try and make like a central road as well. We'll have all of our burgage plots facing each other. I think I'll be doing it from this side. Should have made that road a bit wider. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, I guess that'll do. It'll be four families that can be housed here. And at least we have about 2 average size, workable garden size backyards. We'll get that done. And then I think I will be building other burgage plots right here on the King's Road. Let's do it that way. Okay, there we go. And then we'll leave this center part of town open. I wonder if I can fit a church in there. No, not really. But we can maybe make this a marketplace. And we'll probably build a church right across the road on this side. I want to take a look at our fisherman's hut. It is finished. So we'll add a family there. And then, like I said previously, my previous video was, I was trying to focus on getting the best possible economic start, an ultimate economic start, by the title of my video, and some people weren't really impressed with what I did. So, obviously the economy is important in this game. You need to build enough wealth so you can defend yourself or hire mercenaries to attack your opponents. So we've got a rich salt deposit there. To be honest with you, I can't really remember exactly what you do with salt, but we'll make use of that as well. As soon as we get a bit more influx of settlers into our village, then we can start focusing on some different aspects of the game as well. So for now, we'll just start by building these burgage plots so that we can get our satisfaction, I would say, or what do you call this, our approval rating. Homelessness is a major factor driving everything down at the moment. So pretty soon that problem will be solved. And then we'll go from there. Okay, so another thing that I wanted to do is just remove this second family from the logging camp. And then move them into the granary so that they can start storing our food. I do see that we've already got some mushrooms in the granary. And I wonder if it isn't the family from the forager hut themselves moving the food back and forth to the granary. You see the storage in this pantry is full, so I presume, let's just see, they are just waiting at the moment. Okay, so yeah, we'll get someone in the granary and they can start moving the food into our town here, and that way empty the pantry for the fisherman's hut and the forager hut. I also need to build, obviously, a well. Luckily, we've got water pretty close by. So we'll do a well over there. And then we need to set up a marketplace. I think we'll do that also right next to the King's Road. That's definitely big enough for now. So that all our settlers can get some food from the marketplace. And we also need to remember that we need to build up firewood stores before the winter comes. We'll do that pretty soon. What I want to do is add the extensions to these 2 burgage plots. And then I also want to, like I said earlier, need to go ahead and build ourselves a woodcutter's lodge so that we have firewood available. I think I'm going to do that right there across the road, so that we've got firewood available when winter comes. And while we are gathering resources, I'm also going to build the saw pit. I think I'm going to do that right there. So even though we don't have families available to work all of these different buildings, once they start moving in to our village or our settlement here, we'll already have the buildings set up and ready to assign them. So yeah, for now I think we'll just allow the game to pass some time and get all of these buildings constructed, and then we'll pick it up from there. So we've reached the new settlement level. This is also something that I haven't really strong militia is paramount to the survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has just arrived. I think all of you know this message as well now, so I'm gonna skip that, and then we'll form our militia. We've got 20 spears available, so we'll immediately form the spear militia. That'll then grow to 20 as soon as we get some more people into our village. We're also almost finished with the construction of this last burgage plot over here. So let's just take a look at what we have for now. We've got enough food for 12 months and enough fuel for 5 months. So I think what we'll do is we will remove one of the families. Before I do that, let's see, we can go ahead and gather more timber. I'm going to remove the family from the forager hut for now, and then assign them to the woodcutter's lodge. Sorry, I'm a bit far away, I do realize that. So I've just assigned them to the woodcutter's lodge over here so that we can get to work on gathering some firewood for the winter months. That's also important. And then let's go and have a look here in the granary. 61 mushrooms and 27 fish. So that's perfect. We'll leave the family on the fisherman's hut so that they can just continue gathering some fish for us. And then I'm also going to be building the extension to these 2 burgage plots that have been completed. And let's have a look. Our approval rating is currently at about 53%, and that means that pretty soon, we'll have families moving into our settlement, which is exactly what we need. Okay guys, so while we wait for our village to grow a bit, I want to jump in here to the development panel. This is something that I haven't really focused on before, and one of you left me a comment saying that it's continuously flashing. I need to open it and choose something. So it hasn't really been completed yet. You see a lot of these are still coming soon, but the origins one is open. So all of these that you can choose, you basically choose your people's heritage or their origins or their specialities. So all of them come with a few increased upgrades, and some of them come with most of them also come with a minus, so you'll have to look at what you can get. I've been looking through this, and I think even though we don't really have hunting ground, if you look at the rest of this, increased export prices on minor trades, that one I like. So if I want to export stuff, I'll get a few more coins extra. Increased capacity for foraged goods deposits. So obviously we do have forage hut for the mushrooms, and that might be something that we look into. Decreased agricultural efficiency. We do not really have that much fertile land, and then all of these other things are not really within our region. It's not really useful to us, so let's look at that. Increased regional wealth from burgage plots. That's good. Reduced burgage plot upgrade costs, salt and iron or import value reduction. That's also a good one, because eventually we will have to import iron if we want to make our own weapons. Otherwise we'll just have to import the weapon. So it depends on what is the cheapest way to go about it. But I think I'm going to stick with my original plan in going for this one. Even though we don't really hunt, I'll go for the increased export prices on minor trade goods and increased capacity for forage good deposits. So we'll unlock it, and we'll see if that makes a difference. Let's look at the environment quickly. So we've got a lot of woodland. Connected affinities shows the swine grow fat on mast and acorn. Pigs' time to yield decreases by an amount equal to the woodland environment. Okay, so pigs, pretty good idea to work with pigs. And then also, let's see, adds a chance for wild animals to produce berries and mushrooms. Okay, so we've got mushrooms, not really any berries or wild animals. From the trees, rough skin, the tanner finds his due. Okay, so tannery. Oh, I see. Okay, so tannery will only work if you have wild animals or pelts available anyway. So that's not really of any concern to us, but I like what I see here about the pigs, so we'll keep that in mind as well. That's basically the woodland is what we've got most of, and then meadow, we have some meadow, but not really that much. So let's head back into the game. I must say that this game still does impress me with its stunning visuals. I mean, if you just look around, it's such a relaxing game to play, so it's a good pastime, and I feel privileged being able to share this with you guys. So thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content, please leave me a comment, leave a like, and consider subscribing to the channel. I haven't posted in a while, but I'm looking at getting back into it again, so I'll appreciate it if you join me on this journey. Alright, so we are just waiting for construction of our last burgage plot to finish over here, and then we'll add an extension to that as well. I've added the extensions to these, but I'm just waiting for them to start building it. So I think what we must do is just look at our stocks. At the moment we've got fuel for 13 months and food for 12 months. So it looks like the woodcutter's lodge is doing his job, at least. 43 firewood currently in stock. I think we'll remove that family again. Let's look at our timber. We've got 10 timber. It's important to keep that coming in, so I'm not going to remove this family. Why I remove that family is just I want to keep an eye on when autumn comes around. That'll be September, so I want to keep harvesting as much food as I possibly can before winter, because you can still cut wood in the winter, but you can't forage for mushrooms and fish anymore in the winter months. So let's go ahead and see what we have here. That's just a small clay deposit, and then what I also want to do is start building our salt mine, so that we can start making use. Not enough goods. Okay, we need planks. Obviously we need planks. I've actually forgotten about that. We have a family available to add to the saw pit, so we've got one unassigned family that'll continue with the building of everything that we need, and we've got 2 families on food at the moment. Things are looking pretty good. Alright, you can see it's in the summer months. Rain is starting to pour down over here. That would have been great if we had any farmland available, which unfortunately we do not. But what I want to go ahead and do is start construction on our trading post as well. I'll set that up here right across from the market, connected to the King's Road here, or the main road. And then we will start focusing on trading as well as soon as we possibly can. But at least it'll be constructed already, and we don't have to wait for construction at a later stage. Livestock post, yeah, we'll probably get in some sheep as well at a later stage. I'm just going through the build options here to see what we have available. We also have to get a church constructed as soon as we get a family. Okay, we've got a family on the saw pit. Actually forgot about that. But still, at the moment, 0 planks available. And there we go. We have got our trading post constructed. We will not be using that just now. Still got a few things to do, waiting for some families to move in, as I've said previously. We also need to start picking up the stone. That is very important. So let's go ahead and construct a stone gatherer camp. Right there's fine. We'll probably be removing that at a later stage anyway. Just connect it to the road. I think we should also go ahead and upgrade these hitching posts that we have. And then that way we can add additional oxen to our settlement. It's all about logistics. Okay, so welcome back. It is now early August, as you can see, And then what I want to do now, as we've had some more families move into our village, I want to add a family back to the woodcutter's lodge, because we only have 7 months of fuel left. And then I also want to start construction on a church. For that, I just want these guys to finish up with the stone gathering. So I'll add another family, because I'll show you in a minute. I want to add the church, or build the church right there. And at the moment, that stone gatherer camp is blocking our construction site. So once they have gathered all the stone from that area, I'll build a church right there. And that way we can start leveling up our settlement as well. A bandit camp was sighted. Now, this is quite important. Let's see how far they are from us. Okay, they're quite close by. I want to go ahead and start getting rid of these bandits as quickly as possible. Reason for that being, we can get a nice influx of coin into our village, and also that'll help us with some influence. So let's go ahead and look at our army. We have got 20 spearmen now. That'll be enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rally them. Let's do that right over there. Okay, so we've got our spearmen all ready for battle. And with this music playing, I presume the bandits have already sighted us. Let's go ahead and look. Yeah, there they come. Now let's go ahead and engage those guys over there. So unfortunately, it does look like the battle's going to be taking place right in the trees here. Okay, let's let them push forward. Luckily, we haven't lost anyone yet. There we go. So, luckily, we haven't lost anyone. That helps. Well, let's go ahead and collect from them whatever we can. Okay, there we go. So what do we want to do? Send the resources to the nearest town, or this belongs to my treasury? Now, I think I'm going to send it to the town. And then let's see how far we have to go for those guys. I think I'll leave them be for a while. A few things we need to get done in town here, so let's get the men back. Okay, and we can disband the unit. Shouldn't have done that, but anyway, they are back in town, ready to work. And let's have a look at how many fish we have left. I think that's important as well, because we don't want to catch out more than about half of the shoal of fish. We are at about half now, so I'm gonna be removing this family from the fisherman's hut. Take a look. We will be upgrading our storehouse immediately because it's almost at capacity. How about the granary? Okay, no need to upgrade that just yet. And let's see. Okay, we still have some stone in our stone gatherer camp. What I want to do is demolish this building. And then they can just collect the supplies. And then after that, we'll start construction on our church. We now also have money to get a garden going. So we'll go with the carrots, I believe. Yeah, let's see. Beetroots are the cheapest one. 10 weeks to grow, 18 weeks to grow, 14 weeks. I think we'll go with the beetroot for our first garden. And then here we have some chickens. So I also want to go ahead and start building vegetable gardens over here. We'll do another vegetable garden, or maybe we should do pigs, because we saw earlier that the pigs are quite, I want to say, profitable in this area, but they're quite adept in this area to reproduce and so forth. And then we'll do another vegetable garden on this last burgage plot. Okay, so we have 5 unassigned families. Let's just see that everyone has a job, so we can add someone to the saw pit. There is already someone in the granary and the storehouse. And then our forager hut over here also has a family. We'll add another one there to get as much food in as we possibly can. Okay, I see there's almost nothing left. That's just going to be a waste of time anyway. Okay, so now it is being built. We'll add a road to there. And then we can get some families started on mining salt as well. I want to start trading something, and I think at this stage the best thing for us would be to trade charcoal. Let's see if we actually need to trade charcoal. What is the export-import price? Export price 2, and then for charcoal also export price 2. I think we're going to build a charcoal kiln. I think that's the way that we're going to go anyway, because that'll not only be something that we can export, but it'll also help our village as well. So we'll go ahead and build that on this side, as far away from the burgage plots as possible. And then I'll add another family to the woodcutter's lodge. We are looking good for fuel at the moment. Food is definitely the bigger concern. And then as soon as we've got the charcoal kiln built, we'll also add a family to the trading post and start exporting some of that charcoal. Alright guys, so I think we've got enough resources at the moment to start construction of our church. And that is what we're going to do right there. And once again, that'll allow us to level up our village a bit more. Also want to add a few more burgage plots. I think I'm going to do that right next to the church. Or maybe before I do that, I should add a road. Just separating the houses from the church. Build a road all along our church line there. And then we can start building some more burgage plots. Once again, I'm going to leave them with big backyards, specifically for gardening purposes, growing vegetables. We definitely need more houses. I tend to forget about that. Once I get going and my mind gets all into the game, I forget about building houses and growing our village as quickly as possible. So I'm going to try my best with this one to remember that. Okay, charcoal kiln is done. I will be adding a family to that. And then I think we should leave 2 families unassigned for construction, so that they can just get our church and additional burgage plots going. So while we wait for construction to finish, why not take a little stroll through our settlement? Winter is approaching. Just look at the trees. And I love this game. I really need to play it more often. Seeing that I've got 2 little girls of my own here at home, it's difficult to get time to play as much as I would like to. They tend to keep us busy. But nevertheless, we'll just have to make time. And there you can see our beetroot vegetables are looking pretty awesome, I must say. So luckily we'll get a nice harvest in of vegetables before winter comes. And then these guys are just gathering some firewood for us. This is kind of our industrial area. Doesn't look like much yet, but it's only the beginning. We'll get it going. This reminds me, also seeing the stables or the hitching posts, I can now order additional oxen for our village. I must get to doing that pretty soon. There's some chickens. Right over here we've got our carrot garden going. So that's also looking good. And then construction on our church is starting right over here. So let's just take a look at this last burgage plot. Unfortunately, we do not have the wealth to be able to afford any cabbages at this stage. So I think what we'll do is we'll go with carrots again, right over there. And then we are stuck at 13 coin at this stage. So that means pretty soon we will have to go take care of those other bandit camps as well. So yeah, guys, I think that is where I'm going to end this episode. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this journey. If you enjoy watching this playthrough, please consider leaving a like, consider subscribing, and if there's something that you need me to focus on or something that you think I'm not focusing on, please let me know in the comment section so that we can get it sorted as soon as possible. So that's going to do it from my side, guys. Once again, thank you so much. Keep well. Cheers.